Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blanks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
And Waluigi Albuquerque.
Take that! Mwah!
As you can see in the title, we are here to talk The Amazing Race Season 34 season finale, aptly titled The Only Leg That Matters. So I guess really in reality, guys, this is the only review that matters. And this is the only episode that we've done all season that matters. So for all of you watching, welcome. Thank you for joining our only episode that matters. We're going to run through the entire leg, but as we do with finales, we do not like to bury the lead. So first and foremost, like we always do, love to give congratulations to Derek and Claire. A well run race. Really, honestly, a very kind of like a flawless race, in my opinion. I am giggling because of Brian's face. If you guys know us, as much as we love The Amazing Race, we hate Big Brother. Derek and Claire are alums of Big Brother, so I think that's where Brian's glum face comes from.
I also, Michelle and Luis were my team, so like it was like a double loss.
Congrats to them too. Had an interesting leg that they went through, and we'll go through all the details there. Bri, then you, Wally, just react to Derek and Claire's victory, your thoughts on the finale, and then like I said, we'll kind of run through the whole recap.
Yeah, I thought the episode was really good. So what, like 95% of it was really good to me. Like I thought all the challenges were great. Like I've been to Nashville, so I've been on that trip. So what?
No, say me too. I've been.
Oh, okay. So I've been on that trip. I knew kind of the places they were going to, like the guitar places. Yeah. I thought the final was also really good. I really like how they do these like a whole season recap into one challenge. They did a lot. I mean, they obviously do it all the time, but I just like that they try to keep it original, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I know those places because I went to the bars.
Yeah.
So I definitely, that's how I know it. But like you said, the finale challenges that incorporate the whole season, very old challenge-esque. How the challenge used to do that a lot in their finales. Waleed, your thoughts on Derek and Claire and the finale?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Nashville like you guys, so I'm not really familiar with the city. From what I hear, though, it's easy to navigate. It's easy to find your way around. So you kind of had a feeling from the start of the episode because even in the foreign countries that they visited this season, you know, when they went to Jordan, they went to France, Spain, Iceland, you know, Derek and Claire never seemed to have too much trouble navigating, you know, abroad at all. So you kind of felt like, okay, now they're back on home soil. They're just going to pick up where they left off. If not, they're just going to pick up the pace. And they were already going at such a fast pace beforehand. So you just felt like they were not going to be caught by either of those teams. I mean, I was rooting for Emily and Molly, the twins. They came so close. They kept up as much as they could. But yeah, Derek and Claire were just, yeah, they just hit a certain speed that just like they never slowed down.
Can we agree that if the twins won, that would have been like the perfect outcome for the season?
I felt for them so bad, and we're going to get to that pretty early where their downfall was, and kind of unfortunate because not what I would have thought their downfall would have been. So let's dive back in. Let's do our Avengers Endgame. And we go right back to the beginning of the episode. We are on the final leg of The Amazing Race 34. The final three teams, as we've kind of discussed already, Emily and Molly, the long lost twins, Derek and Claire, the king and queen of Big Brother, and Lewis and Michelle, Brian's picks, Team Miami, couple. They've also been really entertaining throughout the season. Like Brian said, the finale of the season is going to take place in Nashville, Tennessee. However, we don't start in Nashville, Tennessee. We begin in Lynchburg, Tennessee, which is right outside of Nashville. This is for the Jack Daniels whiskey distillery factory bottling plant. Really, really cool challenge. I know when we talked about France and specifically that we didn't have any kind of food and alcohol challenges. So let's give it up quickly to Tennessee. We knew we were going to get music related challenges, but really cool to get the Jack Daniels product placement, because if there's not one thing that the Amazing Race is good at besides going to exotic locations, it's whoring themselves out for advertising. And here we go. We started right off the top. The challenge, the route info was called Whiskey Business in the Distillery. You had to pack and label 30 bottles of of the whiskey. One person had to label, one person had to pack. Bri, then Waleed, I want to get your reaction to this challenge.
This challenge was cool. I just felt like it wasn't. It just seemed like kind of just like it was 3 minutes done. Like
It wasn't a challenge. It was just the easiest task ever.
yeah.
It was so easy.
Bill, this would be what I said, like the cake
Factory.
Mario Party cake.
I wrote that down. It's Cake Factory.
Yep, it's definitely but for older than 21.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 Mario Party references of the episode because it is the finale, and Brian, like a good co-host does, he prompts it. Boom, that's what we call a segue. I'm not going to spoil number 2 yet, but number 1 is Cake Factory, a 2-player 2v2 mini game in Mario Party. Like Brian said, that this is kind of the 21 and over version. Instead of grabbing the cake and dropping the strawberry, you are labeling the bottle and then packing the bottle. But I'm glad that we were on the same page there, Brian. Thank you for looking alive.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. So like we said, you had to hit the assembly line. You had to get 30 bottles labeled and packed. You also had the very obligatory older middle-aged white woman working the factory line who was very hard-nosed and told you when you were doing things wrong. Fun fact, my grandmom worked at a can factory on the assembly line, so definitely basically was my grandmom yelling at them. One thing that we were saying, the issue was Michelle and Claire were doing labeling and they were having issues with the top label not being straight. They were going too fast and they were causing them to be crooked. However, Molly and Emily were not doing that. Molly and Emily leave this challenge, guys, in first place after the first part of the finale. I don't know about you guys, but I was literally clapping. I was psyched. Like, I needed this so bad.
Yeah, I was if it was the twins or Team MIA, I was like all aboard the entire episode. Like I was just like,
yeah, just rooting for them the whole time, and they pulled ahead for like a short moment, and then we'll get to the rest.
The next clue was another route info, which brought you to the Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge. Now, there was a little bit of an interesting kind of transitionary period here throughout the race for this leg, and I think kind of really and turned out to be pretty crucial. Everyone follows Molly and Emily to a gas station. They all ask for directions. However, when you have to go over near the bridge to do the rappelling, there was a pull-off, kind of an exit to go to the parking lot. Molly and Emily see the sign, but they pass it, blow by it, end up driving onto the bridge, having to go turn around the whole thing. The other 2 teams didn't. Claire and Derek pull in. Same thing with Team MIA, able to pull in. And basically the challenge was that you would have to, it was called climb and rappel. You had to go up the 300-foot climb. This is the bridge above the Cumberland River. Climb the bridge, get the guitar pick clue that's inside of a guitar case, and then you had to do the rappel down. Climb, pretty straightforward, right? Had to grab the sides and just kind of run yourself up. Derek made it up fast. Definitely, I think, had an advantage fitness-wise. Like, he kind of maybe a little bit of a brag kind of against the other 2 teams, said that, like, if I'm out of breath, they're definitely out of breath.
Yeah, that's what I was like. They need to lose now. After that,
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was literally a super necessary comment. I mean, like, kind of we all figured that, but didn't love that. That was probably my least favorite moment of the finale, to be honest. I know your part was them winning, Bri, but
no, I mean, and I actually think like if Michelle didn't like struggle in the beginning like she did, like they could have made up that time, because I mean we're gonna get there, but like Derek and Claire on foot, not impressive. So like it just like all those minutes, like you say, like the twins like pulling off, like I think they could have outran Derek and Claire too. Like those are crucial minutes.
Michelle, a mistake that Brian's kind of alluding though to during the rappelling stage is that she actually thought that she had to wait to rappel till after Emily began to rappel, because Emily technically had gotten to the top before her. That wasn't a rule. They were different stations, and she could have gotten herself hooked up and went. We don't know technically how much time that could have cost, but everything was pretty close, as we saw at the end there with everyone. And we'll get to the final part eventually, but where everyone ends up there within the same time period. The Gibson garage is where the pick kind of was where the clue brought you to. This place is really cool. It's like the Gibson factory storefront where you can see basically any type of Gibson guitar. I'm sure like there's things about seeing how they're built. And Brian, have you been there to the actual location?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was, yeah. What I was hoping for, Bill, I don't mean to interrupt you. Is like,
no.
I was hoping that they would have to like make a string guitar or something.
Me too.
Like, I thought that would have been way cooler of a challenge. Like, I mean, this one isn't that bad because like it kind of was evening people out with like carrying and things like that. But I thought that would have been way more, I think, unique to Nashville.
We did within the Gibson garage also have cameos from Caroline and Jennifer, who were from the Amazing Race 22 and All Stars. I'm actually, honestly, that's one part I'm looking forward to in Logan's recaps, to get a little more context on them for everyone who knows that we have watched the last 3 seasons and then started with season 1, Brian and myself. So, and Waleed now as well. So we're getting there, but we don't kind of have the lore and history. So actually, honestly, looking forward to it. And eventually in our own rewatches, getting to them, and then it will be funny for us to go, oh my God. I know you. So the route info, the challenge was a Gibson guitar delivery. You had to take 3 of the guitars and deliver them to 3 separate honky tonks on Broadway. You got wristbands at each of the honky tonks, which I thought was really a nice, funny touch, reminding me of going anywhere like there, Miami, Nashville, any of those bars where you need them still, or college.
Mm-hmm.
The bars, actually, I got them too. Tootsie's, very, very well known bar on Broadway. Low key tip for anyone that goes to Tootsie's. Obviously, they have great food. Their French fries, low key, sneaky, amazing. And I had a whole group of people with me who all would concur. Sneaky good French.
What kind are they? Like shoestring, or
just like no, they're just kind of straight fries, almost not like steak fries, but just. Dude, I'm telling you, this was not we were drunk type of best thing we ever had. It was middle of the day, solid. A lot of people agree, but it was funny that the fries are what I remember from Tootsie's. Tootsie's, Whiskey Bent, and Wild Horse were the 3 locations. This was obviously really straightforward. Nobody had any issues there. Nobody gained any time on anybody during these runs, because again, all 3 of these things are on Broadway. They're on that street. It's pretty straightforward. The crowd was accurate, though. It is honestly usually even more crowded than that.
Yeah, I thought like roads were closed like last time. I at least I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
Like even a little tamer than like even the last time I was there, and it was just a random
COVID baby.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. So like obviously Derek and Claire still in the lead. The municipal hall was also told that once you go onto the 3 locations, delivered them, gotten the wristbands, you go to the Nashville Municipal Music Hall. You go in there and had the orchestra teasing the Amazing Race theme song, which brought us to the final challenge, the final route info challenge, at least, keys to success. There was a giant piano on the ground like you were Tom Hanks in Big.
Yes.
And you had to play the theme song in notes. You had to get 11 notes for the 11 legs of the race. You also had to get them within 11 seconds, which didn't allow one person. I thought was a really savvy rule to have, because it didn't allow just one person to be able to go bump, 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 and just get done with it right away, which I think anyone would have done. Really like that one. Guys, I want to get your thoughts, and then I do have a Mario Party reference.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said before in like early in the episode, I really like when they bring it all together and you have to remember things that like, I mean, so far, like the 3 that I've only seen 3 seasons, the 3 that I've seen, I think have been, well, the first season didn't do this, but I think it's great. I like it because it's like, oh, I remember that. Like sometimes I'm wondering, like, did we actually see that? Like there was a picture of like scorpions. I was like, did they do that? I don't remember. So like I enjoyed that.
they may not have played a final memory game in season 1, Brian, but they were allowed to get in fights and arguments in airports.
That's true. That's true. I missed that a lot.
Waleed, what did you think of the memory key big challenge?
See, this is the kind of challenge that I would just completely, be just so excited to do, because like I have really good photographic memory, especially with like recent experiences like traveling like to different countries and stuff. Like I think I could really do it. I think I could really pull this off and make it easy, actually. So
You have a photographic memory?
Pretty good. Yeah, really good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I said pretty good. I don't want to sound like
that was good. I like.
I don't want to sound too cocky about it, but like, yeah, I'm really good when it comes to that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it would be something that I think I would excel at. So I kind of enjoyed it, seeing them do it, and I mean, basically nobody really gained any traction on each other, any kind of ground on each other. So,
oh my God, it's that was like the Sex Panther quote. It was like 60% of the time it works every time. I got pretty good photographic memory. No, I'm all joking aside though. We do have what I would say was the number 2 Mario Party reference of the day. So
can I guess?
This challenge
can I
reminded me.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Is it Mario Bandstand?
Mario Bandstand, dude. Let's go. 2 for 2. In sync. That's called challenge finale. That's a finale energy right there. In sync. That's what you do all season. That's postseason form. That's coming into your own at the right time. That was a good time. So there were some real images, some dummy images, which I like as well. I did like the team MIA admitted that they didn't realize at first that the black keys were actually music keys, and then they came and figured that out pretty quick. Thought that was a funny quote. Again, things fell for Derek and Claire in a certain way, though. Claire probably proved to have the best memory throughout this season of The Amazing Race, or at least, top 2 or 3. And Derek plays the piano.
Yeah, I was just like, get the hell out of here with this shit. Sorry, it just something wasn't. It was fishy to me.
He goes,
Derek's been playing piano his whole entire life. I was like cutting up boxes when I was watching this, and I was like, I had a box cutter and I like stabbed the one I was working on when he's like, I've been playing the piano my entire life. I was like, gonna run up on Phil's house. I was like,
oh God. So it was nice to have all 3 teams there at the same time, though. It was nice to have the sense that even though Claire and Derek had a good advantage, you never know, right? You never know if a team could just pull a quick one off. So I did like seeing all 3 teams at the final challenge at the same time. But Derek and Claire did finish that challenge first. They received what the final route info was, the finish line to go to the Ryman. It's a old hall, which actually used to house the Grand Ole Opry. No surprise here, guys. Derek and Claire, we said at the top of the race. All of the contestants were there, including some of our friends we've spoken to, but especially shout out to Asta and Nina. No, well, I know. Go ahead, bro.
No T-Rex.
Say, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's like where they live.
I would like to think maybe Tim had something like actual work to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rex was probably on the set. But I mean, that's where they're from. I thought that's where they live.
It is. We got to talk to our buddy Tim. Buddy Tim. We also have a conversation about some hats that he said that we should.
Do we think that that Rex is at the party tonight?
No. No. Logan, let us know.
Yeah,
I know there's probably a lot of other cast members, alumni. Anyone sniffing any sniff of Rex Ryan?
That's the selfie I want to see.
Oh God,
Even Rex. Big white teeth.
Guys, this overall this season, The Amazing Race consisted of 23 days, 8 countries, 16 cities. I don't think it's enough countries.
Yeah, how many continents? Did they say how many continents?
No.
Did they go to South America?
Don't believe so.
No, they did not.
They did not. No Australia either. I'm like just drawing a blank.
No, did mostly Europe, and they did the Middle East for Jordan, and that was it.
Okay. So 3 out of like the 6 continents you can go to. So I mean, it's not terrible.
I wouldn't quote our numbers here because we're just going off the top of it, but they definitely didn't go to Antarctica. Logan, have they ever gone to Antarctica? That's the Amazing Race.
I doubt it.
Just like we said, we want a cold weather season of Survivor.
I mean,
you sleep in a tent.
You saw how cold they were in Iceland.
Yeah,
I mean,
there'd be no way.
If they go any more north or south than that, I mean, it's just like, no, forget that.
I like the season. I think we thought there was a lack of drama and some engaging teams, and that I don't want to really fault the production for that. A lot of them got eliminated early. They can't, this isn't like The Bachelor. This isn't a show where they're going to literally change who's going to get eliminated, who's not. Just kind of how the chips fell. I know that they are currently filming the current season. It might almost be over, but it is coming. So we will have another season of The Amazing Race. I think that's always going to keep chugging along. Anything, you guys know what I want. Like I said, I'm gonna die in this chair waiting for the fast forwards to come back. Brian, Wally, what were your thoughts overall in the season? Anything you'd like to see change?
I enjoyed the season. I actually would like to see less. Like, do you really need a phone in Nashville to get to where you're going? Like, bring back maps. I think like that would have, if they couldn't look up where they were going, that would have made like the suspense of that final run way better.
No asking for directions. I kind of like,
especially in America. I think only in America.
I'll take that. Okay. Wally, what about you?
I don't know.
No, I do want to see them like go to more countries. I mean, in future seasons, hopefully with COVID restrictions pretty much lifted almost everywhere. I mean, I don't know what places still have pretty strict restrictions, but yeah, I mean, I would like to see that. And basically, I don't want to see too many mega legs anymore. I just want to see, legs that are just straight to the point. 1 hour, someone gets eliminated. I don't like the mega legs. How long they are.
Fair enough.
So that's something that I'd like to see them kind of like fix a little bit.
He wants blood, Bill.
He wants blood. We've talked about that. We get it. Cabin in the Woods is what this podcast is. Waleed, I'll piggyback off you a little bit too. I think really what you're getting at is the pace of this leg and a few of the later legs this season reminded me of older Amazing Race. I did think there was a little meandering. I think there was a little bit less urgency in some of the legs this season. Again, I think something that can be tightened up and maybe even edited, maybe a little tighter. But again, these are kind of micro criticisms that I do have. One thing I want to acknowledge too. I will have a soft spot in my heart for this season because I did love the coverage. I think we actually had really good coverage this season. Yeah. I think we it's now having a few seasons under our belts. It's a little bit nicer. I'll always remember the season that birthed the Mario Party references that we will now always use for our Amazing Race coverage. So appreciate that. Also appreciate all of you. The community has definitely grown throughout this season. We know everyone is super busy, and honestly, we really don't take for granted that a bunch of you spend, 15 minutes a week watching our videos, and even some of you even more than that, and commenting. And honestly, we really, really do appreciate it. So, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate all of you. I appreciate Brian, Waleed, Logan. Appreciate you, bud. This is definitely extra credit points for me being humble. So, all besides that, check out everything else we have going on. We are kind of in the holiday season, so reality TV a little bit more in a lull. We do have our Survivor coverage continuing. We do have the Real Love Boat coverage. The Circle does come back at the end of December. Just also look out for anything else. Just hit the notification bell. We have been dropping some reality TV news as well. So check out our channel, and this is a really cool community to hang out. But until next season, if you only check us out for The Amazing Race, thank you. Peace.